Welcome to today's prayer meeting. I hope you enjoy. May God bless you. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to tonight's prayer meeting. I apologize again why it's so late, but I'm here. Um, and tonight, I want to talk about interracial traditional marriage. Okay, we've been hearing stuff about traditional marriage for for so much time. We hear men online and in the real world, okay, away from YouTube, that they want a traditional woman, right? They want a traditional wife. They want someone that's submissive, somebody that's wants to cook and clean for their man, please their man, be that traditional woman. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that. In fact, we should want that, right? But a lot of times the biggest problem is we're not traditional men. We're like modern men, but we want a traditional woman. We want someone submissive and just do whatever we say. And, we wanted to know that, hey, we're the man and what we say goes, right? Um, well, to have a traditional woman, you have to be a traditional man. Okay. And what is traditional? Okay, we're hearing stuff about people talking about a traditional woman, some submissive and cooks, cleans, and just wants to please her husband, right? Um, but a lot of these men are not acting traditional, but they expect the woman to be that way. They'll go 50-50, but yet she's got to cook, clean, and take care of the kids and have that dinner ready, right? And we hear, and I've talked about this on my other show when I was talking about passport bros, right? And I know I got one of my hater fans saying, "Well, white men doing it too. You did it too." Yeah, white men did it too. Okay. When I talk about passport bros, I'm not just talking about black men. I'm talking about white men too. The guys that go overseas and mess with these women, right? A lot of them claim we're getting a traditional wife. Um, there might be some over there that, are helping out with what is it? Helping out with missionaries, helping out the people over there, helping out at an orphanage or doing, good deeds or something like that, or might have a business overseas. Okay. Um, those are the ones that I could see getting a traditional wife because they're there and you fall in love, right? But that takes time. And going to another country, you know, you don't know who you're going to meet, who you're going to be with. But when I talk about passport, I'm not talking about a single group. Okay. There's all races of men doing this stuff. It's been going on forever. Okay. Uh, and some are going over there thinking they're going to meet a traditional woman because the stereotypes are that women from other countries are, you know, so traditional, so submissive, and they'll do anything you want. And they'll, you know, but really they're just people. These women are women. Okay. You can find traditional women in America. You don't have to get a passport. You don't have to go overseas. You don't even have to leave your town. Okay. And, you know, tradition. Okay. A traditional marriage. I'm going to tell you what my definition is of a traditional marriage, traditional man and woman. Okay. This is my definition, and people's definitions will differ. Okay. I think a traditional marriage is a man and woman coming together and giving themselves to each other, forsaking all for one another, being faithful to one another, being loyal and faithful, uplifting each other. It's not just the woman pleasing the man needs to please the woman also. It goes both ways. Okay. And a traditional man mindset is the provider, the protector. He works hard. He earns a paycheck, and he pays the bills. Makes sure his wife and children have food, water, food, clothing, and shelter. Right, and then he takes care of that. That's on his shoulder. That's what a traditional man does. And a traditional man puts his family above himself, his wife, his kids. That's a traditional man. Okay. He's not worried about what his wife makes and what she's contributing, bringing to the table. His job is to take care of his family. And that means sacrificing for his family. It don't mean he gets his way because he's the head of the household or in charge. It means he does the best, makes the best decisions for the family, not for himself, not what he wants. Okay. And we want a traditional woman. And when we're traditional men, we're not looking for an indentured servant. We're not looking for a woman that whenever we say do something, we snap our fingers, she does it. No. Okay. But we do expect our wives to be loving, loyal, and have our back. But we're all human. Okay. And the thing of it is you cannot force a woman to be submissive or traditional. That's got to be something that she is. Not all of us are traditional. Okay. But if you want a traditional woman, you got to be a traditional man. It don't work if she's giving her all to please you. And as a man, you don't please her. You don't, because we're human, right? You give love, you get love. If you want, when it comes to love and marriage, if you want everything, you got to give everything. And us as men are not given everything. We think because we're men that automatically she just got to be submissive and do whatever we say. Tell you, for me, you know, my wife's submissive and I want her to be, but I want it to be natural. I want it to be because she loves me and she wants to submit, not because that's her duty. You know what I mean? And if we're doing what we're supposed to as men, the women we're around will love us and be loyal. You pretty much, the person you are is who you attract. And if you're not a traditional man, you're not going to attract traditional women. It's just not going to happen. And going overseas to live the nightlife, you're not going to find a traditional woman there. Okay. And I've seen these passport videos where they package it like, oh my God, they're just so loving, submissive. All they want to do is cook and clean for their husbands and please their husband. You got to understand, third world countries, they don't have what we got. There's a lot bigger struggle. Okay. And sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. And some of them young women over there, they might hook up with a man to come over and come to America and get a green card. Okay. People are used for that. Just because somebody tells you they're traditional and that don't mean they are. Okay. There's desperation there. And if you can't find a traditional woman in America, what makes you think you're going to go overseas and find that? You can buy a fantasy. You can bring a woman over that tell you whatever you want to hear. But is she going to stay with you? Is she going to be loyal? There's a lot of cases where these men are bringing women back and they're leaving them. Okay? It don't happen every time, okay? Not all, but quite a bit. And instead of, and when I see this, and guys, ladies and gentlemen, us as men, it's our fault in our nation, okay? If our women are not traditional and messed up, why is that? It's because of us men. The women in our country are a product of their environment. And if we're going to make our home a better place, our communities a better place, our country a better place, us as men have to put in the work. Okay? We're not going to fix what's going on in society in America by running overseas and bringing more women over, thinking it's going to be a quick fix. That don't fix the problem. All these guys are doing is they're cutting and running. Okay, women are messed up in America. I'm going overseas, get a traditional woman. Buy a passport, go overseas, and what? There's traditional women all over the world. There's traditional women in my hometown, in your hometown. We got to find them, but we got to be traditional men to find the traditional woman. You can't be a guy that goes to the clubs and expect to find that traditional submissive woman. Okay? And if you want that submissive traditional woman, you got to be that provider and protector. It goes both ways, ladies and gentlemen. We put it all on the woman's shoulders a lot of times and tell her she's wrong. And then, when things ain't working out for us here in America, we just cut and run overseas and think we'll find something there, and we won't. Because we got to change ourselves. Okay? Now, that's my opinion. But really, you attract people that are like you. You do. Right? But traditional marriage, okay? My definition is you get married, okay? You make a commitment between each other and between God. It's a promise, it's a commitment. And when you take those vows, you're saying you're going to put your wife first above everything. Okay? And wives will do that for their husband. Okay? And it says to forsake all. What's that mean? That means your love, your affection belongs to your wife. Your wants, your desires belong to your wife. They don't belong to any other women. And vice versa, ladies. It belongs to your husband. Okay? That's marriage. You come together as one. That's tradition. And you come together in marriage forever. You don't say, well, let's get married and see if it works. No, marriage is supposed to be forever. Okay? Unless one of them passes and gets remarried, you can do that. But marriage is forever. Okay? And that's the biggest commitment you'll ever make, the most important. But we want tradition, we got to be tradition. Okay. And I love my country and I love the women in my country. Okay. I have an awesome wife and she's traditional. And I found her in my hometown. I didn't have to go to Guatemala to find a submissive wife or Colombia or whatever. Okay. And I'm asking men to man up. Okay. If you're overseas and that's where you got to be, it can happen there. But instead of getting your passport and running overseas, how about you fix yourself and find a traditional woman in America? Just saying. Guys, I want to show you this. Before I read any scripture, I want to show you this comment. Okay. And this was a comment, and let me put it up here. Okay. And this guy's Andrew Jam 937. Okay. And I'm not going in on this guy at all. I appreciate his comment. Okay. Because I want feedback like this. He says, I really enjoy your podcast. Okay. It seems like you have the answers to passport bro problems. Even though I have not watched this in its entirety, you say that there's lots of traditional women in America. Yes, there is. I did say that. Where are they? Tell us where would like to, okay, sorry. Where are they? Tell us. We would like to know. There's a criteria: low body count, fit, feminine, cooperative, real hair, no fake nails, no fake eyelashes, no tattoo. No babies, mamas, that knows how to cook and clean. You want clean wife that can prepare you meals for your children, right? Tell us. We would like to know. I'm waiting. Okay. You guys can read this. Okay. Now, I'm going to answer this question. I did it in the comments. Okay. Now, let's go through this. Okay. And I'm going to break it down. Okay. He likes my podcast. That's cool. I appreciate that. He's, I do say there's traditional women in America. Okay, lots of them. Okay, I did say that. He says, tell us where they are. And then he gives a criteria. Low body count. Okay. Someone that's not running around having sex a lot. Okay. Fit, feminine, cooperative, real hair. Let me say this. Fit, that's nice. It's healthy. But she don't have to be fit to be a traditional woman, okay? She should for health reasons, okay? Feminine, okay? Most women I'm around are feminine, but okay. Cooperative, okay. Well, yeah, she needs to be cooperative, but we need to be cooperative too. We need to do what we're supposed to as men. Real hair, really, I don't care if she's got real hair or not. She can wear a weave, a wig, braids. Look, to me, she could have that and be a traditional woman. Okay, some people have their criteria, what they think traditional is. Okay, everybody has their definition. So I don't care about the fake nails. Okay, my wife got her nails done, so I guess she's not traditional, according to what this guy says. Okay. No tattoos. Now, tattoos as a Christian, okay, and I'm not trying to offend nobody, but our body is like a temple. We're not supposed to mark our body, right? But if a woman has a tattoo, I'm not going, you know, shame her or go in on her. You know, there are traditional women that have a tattoo. Okay. Maybe back in the day they got one, they became traditional women, women of faith, and they said, well, I shouldn't have got that, but you did it. It was done. Okay. We don't always follow traditional values to the T. We don't. Okay. We could disqualify anybody on the earth from being traditional. We can add what we want. Okay. Um, but I know women that have a tattoo that are Christian women. And a lot of them like, well, I shouldn't have done that, but I did it. Okay. So what are we gonna do? Put a scarlet letter on them? Because okay. Fit, feminine. Okay, everybody wants a fit, feminine woman. Okay. Cooperative. Okay, we got to be cooperative too. No fake nails. I don't care about fake nails. To me, that's not a disqualifier. My wife got her nails done. Both my wife and daughter got their nails done when we went to see the Dallas Cowboys. They put, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Fake eyelashes, whatever. Um, Tattoo. I'm not into tattoos, and our body's like a temple. I'll leave it at that. Babies, mamas. Okay, it's not traditional to have babies out of wedlock. Okay, but single mothers that have children are traditional women. Okay, they might have gotten with a man that they thought was going to marry them, left them hanging with a child. Okay, and there's traditional women that have been in that situation, but they love God, they're loving women, and they have traditional values. Okay, she had a child out of wedlock. You shouldn't do that, but we're human. Okay, then again, you know, my life now, I'm a lot more traditional than I was back in my younger days. Goes to reading the Bible, your faith strengthening, you improving yourself. Okay. So babies, mamas, there are women that have babies, and our culture promotes sex before marriage. Okay. It's not right. We should wait till we're married to have sexual intercourse, right? We should. Most people don't do that. But can they change their life and be traditional? Okay. Now there are people that I know that waited, both men and women waited till they were married before they had sex. Okay. And that's biblical. We should do that. Okay. The majority ain't doing that, but there are people that are traditional in that way, and they do it by God's word. They follow the Bible. That's traditional. Bible, it, doing it God's way. That's what I call traditional. Now, does that mean in your life you didn't make any mistakes? Does that mean because you're a single mother you can't be traditional now? We can become traditional. Okay. All right. No baby's mom knows how to cook. Okay. Well, women should know how to cook, sure, and clean, but we got to help out sometimes too. And especially if both of you are working, you got to help out the women, guys. Now, if you're strictly traditional and she don't work and you protect and provide everything, yeah, she's going to have to do those duties, but keep in mind she's human. And most likely her job's a lot tougher than your job. Okay. Taking care of children all day, cooking and cleaning, it's not a piece of cake. Okay. So we need to be mindful of our wives and give them a break. Give them that special day where they don't have to cook and clean, where they can take a break and, have their personal time. That's traditional too. When the guy steps in and takes care of his wife, pampers her, takes her shopping, shows her love and respect, Okay, that's part of being a traditional man. Okay, it's not just barking orders. Hey, where's my dinner? No. Okay, it's a give and take with traditional. Okay, traditional couples work together. Yes, us, the traditional man went out, worked, he paid for everything. He didn't go 50-50. And yes, the wife stayed home and cooked and cleaned. But know a lot of traditional people, even though they work and their wife don't, they'll give their wife a break because they love their wife. They want her to have some personal time too. Okay, we're human. We're not robots. We have emotions. We get happy, sad, mad, glad, and we all go through that. We need to uplift each other. Yeah, a woman deals with a lot of pain in and out bodies more than men. Yeah, women go through more physically than men. Okay, in the instance that women, their bodies are different. They got to take care of their bodies. It's a little more work for a woman to take care of her body than a man. Okay, women give birth. They have their menstrual cycle. They go through some things we don't as men, and we got to take that into account too. Okay, I'm just saying. A lot of times we get spoiled by our wives. I have. My wife does so many amazing things for me. And I get spoiled, and sometimes I got to stop and say, "You know what? She's done all this. Now it's my turn to do something for her. It's my turn to show my love." Okay? It's about us lifting up each other. Okay? We want our wives to, you know, be submissive to us and to please us, but we got to please them too. Okay? We're human. But anyway, I do appreciate this comment though. But he's been honest. This is what he wants in a woman: someone that cooks and cleans. He don't want no fake nails, no eyelashes, no tattoo, no baby's mamas. Okay, um, you can, if that's your definition of traditional. Okay, okay, it's going to be a little harder to find all that because a lot of women get their nails done. I'm just saying. My wife and daughters do it. They're traditional women though. Okay, my wife gets a weave every now and then. I know some people, oh my God, it's not natural, a weave. Come on, guys, you like it. It looks good. Stop it. Um, but to me, I don't care about that stuff. And makeup. Some people say women that wear makeup, that's not traditional. I mean, we could go on. I can make a list of what I think a traditional woman is. But to me, a real traditional woman is just somebody that's a loving wife that's loving and loyal to her husband. Okay. And puts her husband and children first. A traditional man puts his wife and children first. Okay. It's a team effort. Okay. A traditional woman is not an indentured servant. You don't snap your fingers and she does whatever you tell her. Okay. Now she'll do stuff for you because she loves you. And you got to show appreciation. Okay. You're a leader, not a dictator, guys. A traditional man's not a dictator. A traditional man does what's best for the family. Okay? He's not walking around, I'm the man, what I say goes. No. He does make the final decision, but he does it in the best interest of the family, not in the best interest of himself. People need to understand the difference between a dictator and a leader, and understand the difference between a traditional woman and an indentured servant. Okay? We want our wives to serve us, right? But we got to serve them too. Show them kindness. You know, embrace her. Tell her you love her. Tell her how amazing she is. Give her a break. Let her have her personal time. That goes a long way. Okay. But anyway, I do appreciate it. And Andrew, if you're watching, thank you for this comment. I do appreciate it. And this is something we should talk about. Okay. And we all have what we want in a woman, right? What we think is traditional and what we think is not. Now for me, this is how I feel. Okay. Is what I see as traditional. Okay. A woman that's loving and loyal. Okay. And I'm not worried about her nails or her makeup or her hair. I don't care. Okay. If she feels beautiful in a weave and doing her nails or even throwing on fake eyelashes, I'm okay with it. I mean, women do that to look pretty for us, for us guys, to look beautiful for us. Our wives do that, to show love towards us. A lot of times we bash women because they're trying to please us. Um, but anyway, let me go ahead and take this down. But I do appreciate that comment. And I'm going to tell you guys, there's a lot of definitions for tradition. Okay. Now, times change. We live in a different era. Back when my grandparents, in their day, my grandfather worked. My grandmother didn't work. She didn't even drive. She took care of the household. My grandfather worked 6 days a week. He worked hard to make sure that his wife and kids were taken care of. Okay, that's tradition. Now, my grandfather took care of everything. My grandmother didn't even drive a car, never her whole life, because my grandfather did it. Okay, there were a lot of couples like that way back in the day. We're in a different world. Okay, everybody drives. Okay, but that don't mean my wife's not traditional because she drives a car. Okay, some people think, you know, but I'm okay with my wife wearing a weave, doing her nails. I don't. I mean, that's. I'm like, okay. Some guys don't want that, but she loves me. She's loyal to me, and that's traditional. Okay, but I could put qualifiers, and she could do it on me. I mean, we all have our definitions, right? Most important thing is love, loyalty. Okay, love and loyalty is the most important because you got to love each other and you got to be loyal to each other. The Bible tells us to do that. That's tradition. That's God's tradition. Okay. And when we're married, we're not supposed to look at any other women. And ladies, you're not supposed to look at any other men. That's traditional. Now you got some marriages where people have an open marriage and they do whatever they want. But that's not real love. It's definitely not traditional, you know? But anyway, let me I didn't put no Bible verses up. I just wanted to show you that comment. And look, if you want a traditional woman, guys, you got to look for her. Okay. You asked me where are they at? Where's your local church at? Because most common place to find traditional people is in church. Okay, that follow the Bible and follow the tradition of marriage through God's law. Okay, that's where you're going to find traditional people. Now, are they perfect? No. Some of them might be a single mother in the church. Okay, maybe when she was young, she had a baby thinking her boyfriend was going to do the right thing. Things happen. We got to forgive people. We can't hold them in judgment forever, because if we do that, then we're all doomed. Okay? You might have a woman in the church that has a tattoo. Okay? Now, I'm not for tattoos, but I'm not going to come in here and bash people that have them. Okay? I just feel the Bible says our body is like a temple, and we should not do that. Okay? And look, I'm guilty of not taking care of my temple. I should eat better, right? That's a sin too. So I'm working with that. That's something I got to get a handle on. Okay? My body's a temple. And when our body's a temple, guys, that means we should save it for marriage. We shouldn't use our bodies to fulfill lust with other people. It's not biblical. It's darn sure not traditional. One man, one woman forever. It's tradition. Okay. All right. Let me read some Bible verse. I don't have them up there. I was running late in a hurry, but I just wanted you to see that comment. And I'm not going in on this guy. I appreciate him. He's being honest with me, okay? And but if you want to know where that traditional woman is, you got to look for her, guys. I can't say, okay, the traditional women, what town you live in? Oh, okay. On 53rd and Elm, that's where the traditional women are. Just show up there and they'll be there. I mean, come on. If I had answers like that, I'd be a millionaire. But I can tell you, go to your local church, get involved with people and activities. You know, instead of going to the club on Saturday night, getting drunk and trying to hook up. I'm just saying. Okay? Do you want tradition? You want a traditional woman? You have to be a traditional man. That's how it works. And ladies, the same thing. You ain't going to find that traditional man in the club. It just ain't going to happen. He's probably looking there to see who he can hook up with, and not who. He's probably not looking, hey, I wonder if I could find a good wife here. But hey, I'm just saying, you got to think, you know, we got to be strategic, both men and women. Okay. When we get married, we're putting in an investment. Okay. Now, there are traditional people that interracially date, swirling. Okay. We're swirlers, but we take our swirl to investment. We swirl to marriage. Okay. Some people swirl to have a good time, to see what it's like to be with someone of a different race, or because they're attracted to someone of a different race and they swirl for that reason. And there's nothing wrong with being attracted to someone of a different racial group, different ethnicity. Nothing wrong with that at all. But do it the right way. Do it swirl to investment. Do it traditionally. Okay? You'll be better off. And here's the thing, traditional people do not have sex before marriage. Traditional people wait till marriage. Okay? I wonder if any of those passport bros are, you know, going to look for their traditional wife. I wonder if they're waiting till they get married before they have sexual relations with that young lady. Do they do that? I bet they don't. I'm just saying. You know, just because a woman says she's going to cook and clean, wants to please her man, that don't make her traditional. Okay? She can cook and clean and do all that wonderful stuff and cheat on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You might have a wife that don't cook that much, but she loves you and she's faithful to you till the end of time. Okay? I'm just saying. There's more to it than cooking and cleaning. Okay? Being traditional is you give yourself to your wife. Women, you give yourself to your husband. That's traditional. But it It works both ways. You can't expect the woman to do everything and you're not doing what you're supposed to, or kind of halfway doing it. You know what I mean? You get what you put in. What they say, you get what you pay for. And I'm not just talking money. I'm talking about love and affection. You get what you give. If you're around your wife and you don't give her a hug too often, you don't tell her she's beautiful, and she don't hear it till maybe once in a blue moon, well, the love she's going to give back will be once in a blue moon. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. It's more traditional women than men. Yes, I agree with that 100%. But somehow in America, we don't have traditional women. We got to go overseas to find that for some reason. We got to save ourselves and run to Mei Ling in China or something. I don't get it. I mean, are we got to go to Colombia to find that traditional woman, and then guys find that, wonder why they're drugged, why they get ripped off, why things happen? Yeah, but yeah, there's more traditional women than, yeah. I believe that, and that's our fault as men. We need to tighten up on that. We need to fix that. And then getting a passport cutting and running is not the answer. I'm serious. It's not. As men, we got to hold down our country. We got to take care of it. We need to be better men for the women in our nation. We need to be better husbands. Well, we need to become husbands. A lot of, don't get me started on that. A lot of these guys have children with women and not married, and then they want a traditional woman. Really? But they're going shame the woman for having a child when you're creating children out of wedlock. So come on. He without he that is without sin cast the first stone. Traditional women, they're out there, but the reason there ain't more traditional women because there ain't more traditional men. I don't think these guys realize this, that a lot this is our fault. I mean, we can't blame women and cut and run. It just that's how I see it. In my humble opinion, I think that's this passport role thing. I think it's a sham. Now, I'm not saying you can't go overseas and find a good wife. I've seen people do it, but they do it in a different way. They're not going out, hanging out, and living the nightlife and hooking up with a woman that's dressed in tight clothing, showing her body. That just don't make sense. And I'm sorry I'm harping on this, but with the passport bro thing, that's a problem we have in our society. Okay, we unfortunately as men, and I hate to say this, and this is across the board, a lot of times we take the easy way out and we point the finger and believe somehow if we run to another group of women, it's going to fix it. And it don't. Now I'm not saying if you're attracted to a woman of another race and you want to date her and that's where you go. I'm not talking about that. That's perfectly fine. But because women here you feel are the problem, you run somewhere else thinking it's going to fix it. And you say, well, they're being Americanized and it's, and well, who did it? Who created this society? Who created it? You might say, well, I didn't create this. Well, you can fix it. It's your country. You live here, guys. Okay. I'm just saying. I mean, seriously, I don't believe this passport bro thing. I'm sorry, guys. I know the videos look positive. I seen one that this guy, he's got a channel called Beautiful Lies, and he had these Filipino women up there, right? And they're saying how they that Jim trained to cook and be submissive and want to please their man. And it sounded great. It was a good selling point. And they look cute and they look beautiful. It was a good image. But what's really going on? That's a third world country. And nothing against the Philippines at all. I mean, I know I'm friends with Filipinos and they're great people. They're wonderful. But you got to understand that when you go to another country that don't have as much as we do, you are a target. Okay. Now I'm sure you can find a good traditional woman over there, right? But there's a way to go about it. And getting a passport and going partying is not it. I'm just saying. And you got to be careful going overseas. You are a target. You're in an environment that you're in a different environment. They know you don't belong there. You don't know where you're at. It's real easy to get blindsided. They know you got money. They know you're coming over with your iPhones and your tablets and all this wonderful electronic stuff we have, right? They see that as well. And you know what? Desperate times comes to desperate measures, right? When people get desperate, there's things they do that they would not normally do. You got to understand the situation. And I'm talking to men mostly tonight. Okay. And I know some people, well, white men do it. I wouldn't, when I say passport, I'm not talking about black men only, white men too. They're doing it too. They've been doing it forever. I get it. I'm not denying it. I'm talking to all men here. You want that traditional woman? You go find her. You become a traditional man. Leave that passport alone. Traditional women are here. You don't need to go overseas to find that. It's going to be a lot harder to find that. Number one, it's a different culture. Number two, you don't know what they think of you. And you're rich. Think about that. When you're in that country, you're wealthy. Maybe not in America, you're just an everyday guy. But over there, you're like a wealthy man, and they see that. Just like in America, you have men that make 2, 3, 400,000 a year. Their value goes up, does it not? And let's say they're in the millions, their value really goes up. But the women that are with them, do they really love them? Or do they love what they can get from them? I see elderly men running around with 20-year-olds, 70-year-old guys, 65-year. Like, what is that? But he's got a lot of money. And I know I'm going to get in trouble because some people have a big age gap. Okay. I'm not saying it can't work, but what I'm saying is a lot of times these young women that are real pretty and young are with an old guy that's, old, gray, and wrinkled, right? I mean, you kind of wonder what's that relationship about? I'm just saying. Same thing with the passport bros. Okay. Men, you can do whatever you want, but you got to understand the situation. And the reason you don't have a traditional woman is because you're not a traditional man. And you can point the finger at women all day. But until we fix ourselves, we can't expect women to fix themselves. I'm just saying. It starts with the man. You rebuild the man, you rebuild the woman and the family. Right now, we don't have traditional men. Right now, we got men that want to go 50-50, and some men are being taken care of by women. Some cases, the roles are reversed. And it's because we're weak as men in general. I'm just saying. But anyway, let me read some Bible verses before I okay, which in Genesis 1:21. Let's just read that. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God hath taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. Okay. God took at Adam's rib and created a woman for the man, for Adam. He created Eve. So Adam would not be lonely, so he would have a companion. So he'd have a wife, someone to share his life with, right? A wife is a blessing from God. Okay? God gives us a wife, but we're supposed to take care of our wife. We're supposed to make sure her needs are met, make sure she's protected, make sure she's loved and feels secure. Okay? But he took the rib and created the woman and brought her onto the man. Okay? So he created her and brought her onto Adam. And Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of a man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife and shall be one flesh." And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. Okay, and that it stops there. But God created women to be with men. He created us to be together. Okay, and we're supposed to cleave to our wife. We're supposed to leave our mother and father and find a wife, and we become one flesh. Okay, that means we're together. A lot of times we may think alike. Me and my wife, we say the same things we're so used to being with each other. It's like we kind of share the same brain, it seems like. We enjoy doing a lot of the same things. And I cling to my wife. And when I sleep at night, my wife is next to me. I hug her, I embrace her. Okay? And she's like my best friend too. And I can't see my life without my wife. Now I could survive and eat and carry on, but I wouldn't have the love and happiness I have. It is a blessing. People know, I think people are caught up in vanity and pride and lust so much that they don't even realize how much of a blessing a wife is. Having a good wife is like the greatest thing ever. Let me see it. There's another verse. Oh, okay. Gosh, I cut out the verse. It's in Corinthians. I apologize, but it says talks about the virtuous woman, right? Who can find a virtuous woman? Her for her price is far above rubies. Okay. In the heart of the husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. Meaning his wife makes him complete. Okay. She's worth more than rubies. She's a treasure. Okay. There's nothing on this earth worth more than a good woman, a good wife. Okay. She's worth more than anything on this planet. Okay. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. So a virtuous woman will do good unto her husband, not evil. She'll be there for you. She'll love you. She'll make your life complete. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from altar. She raiseth also while it is ye night, and giveth meat to her husband and a portion of her maidens. Okay. So what that's saying is she's taking care of her husband, cooking for her husband. Um, I think with the wool, maybe making clothes for him. But the husband is providing and protecting for her. The husband is working and providing food, clothing, and shelter. That's what we're supposed to do as men. That's traditional. But a good woman's worth the weight in gold. It says in the Bible, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and favor from the Lord. So if we have a wife, we have a good thing and we have favor from God, right? Look at what the Bible says about a wife. And this is where we miss it as men. We don't seem to understand the value of a good wife. We don't understand that she's a treasure. We don't understand that her worth is far above rubies and precious stones. There's nothing on earth more valuable than a wife, a good woman. And we miss this as men. We're so caught up in what we want women to do for us and how we want to control them so much that we forget her value, her beauty, her worth, the blessing she brings to the family. We forget she takes our house and makes it a home. We forget she takes care of our children. And yes, cooks and cleans. And we take it for granted because our egos and our pride are so much that we feel being a man is just totally controlling a woman like an indentured servant instead of treating her like the wife you married, the one you love. Serious. Oh, we want a traditional woman, but I'm going to the club later. Hey, you want to go? Hey, let's go overseas, get our passport, and go party. Yeah. And wonder why you don't find that traditional woman. And find out you bring one of those ladies over, and a lot of guys end up in a divorce, and things don't go so well. That ain't every situation, but it happens a lot. And I've seen it through the years. I spent over 20 years in the military. I've been to the Philippines, Korea, Malaysia, Japan, all over the Middle East. And yeah, I've been in the Mexico. I've been in the South America. I've seen all this stuff. I know what goes on. These passport bros can't fool me. Selling some fantasy like these women are so great and nurturing and traditional, and yeah, they're there, but I don't think these passport bros are looking in the right place. I'm just saying. Now, I'm not against somebody that falls in love with somebody overseas. I'm not. I know a lot of good people that have married foreign nationals and had great wives, but they go about it a different way than this passport bro stuff. Okay. I'm just saying. There's a guy in my church married to a Korean woman. They've been married, they're elderly, they've been married forever. They got kids and grandkids. But you know how he hooked up with her? His family were missionaries. He lived over there and fell in love with one of the local women. That was a Christian too. That's beautiful. That's great. But that's in his environment. He didn't say, "Whoa, I'm going to get my passport." No. He's doing God's work and God provided him a wife. Okay. So I'm not against people going, going overseas to get a bride, but you got to do it the right way. And I think most of these guys are looking for a quick fix, thinking the grass is greener over the hill and thinking that women are just not so great over here. And maybe it's because they didn't have any good luck with women, and I don't mean that as, women didn't like it. Maybe they just couldn't find that traditional woman because they're not a traditional man. And they didn't have good luck with relationships because they got with the wrong woman but you got to fix yourself. I cannot expect a traditional woman if I'm not a traditional man. It just don't work. And even if you get that, you're going to either have to change or your relationship is not going to work. I'm just saying. Let me see here. Oh, this verse, 1 Peter 3:7. It says, "Likewise, ye husband, dwelleth with them accordingly to knowledge, giving honor unto your wife, giving honor unto your wife, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being hers together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered." Ooh. So we need to honor our wife because she is the weaker vessel. We got to protect her. Okay. And we come together in grace. And that says that your prayers be not hindered. So is that telling us that God's going to answer our prayers if we take care of our wives and honor them and protect them? Yes. A lot of the times, us as men, we're blessed. God blesses us because of how we take care of our wives, how we treat them. We give them love and respect. God's given us a blessing. God gives us a woman to be our wife, to be loving and nurturing, to make our house into a home. But when God gives us that blessing, we got to take care of that blessing. That means you protect her, you take care of her. And when I talk about protection, it's not just physical, it's mentally and emotionally. Letting her know you love her, embracing her, making her feel beautiful. Tell her you love her, tell her she's beautiful. There's no weakness in showing love and affection for your wife. That's not a weakness, that's a strength. That's not a simping simper or whatever that is. No, what it is you're doing what a man's supposed to do. You're supposed to love and respect your wife. You're supposed to make her feel loved and secure. You're not to beat her down and tell her, you got to do better. You got to do better. No. I mean, we should hold each other accountable. But what I'm saying is, we're not giving women love and respect like we should. But we want that traditional submissive woman, though, don't we? Well, if you want that, you might as well take your Burger King coupon to a steakhouse and see how that works out. Same thing with the marriage. If you're not going to put in 100%, you're not going to get 100%. If you're not going to show her love and respect, she's not going to give it to you. She may in the beginning, but that's going to dwindle away because it takes two. Love's got to be reciprocal. It's got to go back and forth. You can't be one-sided. Women are not here to boost our egos. Women are not here for us to boost our pride. Okay? They're here to be a blessing to us. And it's a blessing to have someone in your life that loves you. We got to take care of that. Quit taking it for granted. I'm just saying. A lot of the problem we have in America is because of us men. Let's just keep it real. Let's tell the truth. Okay? Women are not submissive like we want because we're not traditional like we should be. And that's the honest to God truth. And until we as men realize that and try to improve, we can't expect to have the best when we're not the best. Just saying. If we're lacking as men, we can't expect to have the top shelf woman that's loving, nurturing, and just does everything for us. That costs. There's a price on that. And what that price is giving everything. You want everything from your wife, you got to give her everything. You want her to love you with all her heart, you have to love her with all your heart. Women are not here for our pleasure and to boost our ego. Okay? They're here to be our wife, to be a partner within our marriage, to build families together. Okay? To have children and pass on generation. And it's supposed to happen where a man leaves his mother and father and finds a wife. You don't say you leave your mother and father and go hook up and with many women and get a passport and go here and there. No, you go find a wife. It doesn't say that, you play the field for a while and then settle down and get married. No, you're supposed to go and find a wife. You're not supposed to mess around and do it later on. I know we're in a society where, oh, well, don't get married too quick. Just go and have fun, go dating and, enjoy your life. Really, what they're telling you to do is go and fornicate until you're ready to settle down. Go have premarital sex. And yeah, that ain't going to mess you up mentally, is it? And in traditional marriage, sex comes last. That's the last thing that happens. Because when you get to that point, you should be married and in love. And when you get to that sexual point, it's added extra. Okay? It's like the icing on the cake. You already got the love, you're in love, and it's great. And that just makes it better because you have love in all areas. But the physical is the last part. We got it so backwards that we date and jump in bed first and then hope it works out. No. Mm-mm. The reason it don't work out because we do it that way. We don't do it God's way. And then we wonder why our lives are messed up, why our relationships are trash, why our marriages don't last. And then we wonder why, then we get upset and mad and blame women and go chasing other women thinking it's going to fix it. When what we got to do is fix ourselves. It would be beautiful if you match up white. That would be beautiful. If I could do that, I would do it. Um, I would love to do that. Um, but truth be told, I'm a little channel and I have to work, so I don't have the resources to do that. But not saying it can't happen in the future, you know. Um, I would love to hook people up. But then again, that's a risk too. People have hooked up on my channel and some didn't work out. And I feel guilty because, I didn't tell them to get together, but, I kind of feel bad because it happened in my platform. But some people have good relationships from it too. And I feel good. But, you know, but I would love to do that. I would. Um, yeah, that's true, Genesis. If I was single, I would celebrate. You don't have to be married to be happy or complete. That's true. You don't. Okay. Um, I know in the Bible, what Paul didn't get married because he wanted to devote everything to the Lord. Okay. You can be happy and not married. Okay. You can live without marriage. For me, I want to be married. I I can't see myself not being married. I'm being honest. Some people can do it, some can't. I can't. I can't be alone. I mean, man, I'm being honest. Really, I just without my wife next to me every night. I mean, since I got used to it, if I didn't have that, oh my god, to me that'd be horrible. But we're different. Some people need to be with each other. Some people can live fine without being married and have fun and enjoy their life. Okay. Some can, some of us can't. And I'm being honest. Um, and maybe I'm just not that strong, but it just, it's just my wife is so amazing. I couldn't see being alone. But anyway, but there are some people that are happy not being married. It don't say you have to get married, but if you're going to deal with, you know, if you're, yeah. But anyway, but you don't want to have sexual relationships and not be married. If you're going to do that, you need to be married. Um, it's biblical, but you don't. Like I said, if you're right, you can live a good life and not be married. For me, I want to be married, and I am married. I've always wanted to have a wife, even before I was at that point, you know. And my family's traditional, so I was raised that way. I was raised to, you know, when you leave home, you go find a wife and you provide and protect. My father always told me if you can't afford a wife, you don't deserve a wife. If you can't make enough money to take care of a wife, you don't need to have a wife. That's what my father told me. He said, if you can't afford it, you don't deserve it, son. And he was being brutally honest. And the reason he was is to get me grounded in reality and know if I want good things in life, I got to work hard for it. You want a good wife, you got to work hard for it. And if you can't provide and protect her, you don't deserve her. And I know some people think that's kind of harsh. What if he really loves you but don't got money? Well, if he really loves you, he'll get the money up and find a way. He'll make a way. Sometimes that's a cop out for men to be lazy. Oh, well, I'm trying. I pay a couple bills and then get with a woman that takes care of everything. That's not good. It ruins the man because he gets used to that. And then he expects it. And then sometimes ladies want him to improve and do better, and he gets comfortable in you taking care of him. I've seen it. But if you're trained with a mindset that you are the protector and provider, and if you can't afford it, you don't deserve it, then that'll make you do what you need to do. And if the woman, and here's the thing in my situation, in my family, how I was raised, you know, if she makes more than you don't mess with her. Gosh, I'm trying to. Dang it. I'm having I got a setting on here. I'm trying to put the link up there. Okay, that it won't let me do it. Sorry guys, I'm focusing on this crap. I have a live chat thing at the bottom, and it's covering up where I post my comment. And every time I try to, I can't move it, and I try to. All right, well, forget it. Uh, I'm all right. Hello. Sorry about that. Yeah, I got kicked off my own live stream. Devil's working on this one. But here, let me put the link if you guys want to come up. All right, there it is. Okay. Well, tonight I wanted to talk about traditional marriage, okay? And traditional people. And it goes the same way whether you're in an interracial relationship or you're within your same ethnicity, same race. Okay. Traditional values are the same, coming together, giving each other everything. Okay. Um, and in interracial relationships, believe it or not, a lot of times it's easier to be in a traditional marriage. And especially with, from my experience with black women, a lot of black women are traditional women. A lot of black women are women of faith. And I think a lot of times Black women and white men have success in our marriages because we're traditional. Okay. Our culture, the so called white culture, it is still rooted in some tradition. We still believe in marriage. We're still taught that that's what we do. And, you know, we're still taught by our fathers that we got to protect and provide. And we're supposed to, you know, be that leader that takes care of the family, that sacrifices for our family. And, we believe that if we can't afford to take care of a wife, we don't deserve one. That's how a traditional man thinks. If he cannot provide, he don't deserve a wife. And that's how we believe. We believe it's on us to make it happen. That's as men, that's our job. That's our duty. You know, we're here to provide and protect. And we also believe that, and a lot of times we'll go for women in our same economic group, right? And we do that because we can provide for the woman at our economic level, okay? We don't believe in dating, like me dating a movie star wouldn't make sense because I can't provide for her. She'd be providing for me, and I really wouldn't feel like a man. And it just wouldn't work traditionally. You know what I mean? I just, and I was taught that too. And it works out better when you can provide and protect, and the way you've been raised, and you're able to accomplish that. It's a blessing. And then your wife sees you working hard, and she's thankful that you're providing for her. That's a beautiful thing. My wife tells me every now and then, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for providing a home for us. Thank you. It feels good when you know that you did right. It feels good that you worked hard, even though your back hurts, your knees hurt, and you're sore. Your wife sees that, and she appreciates that. She loves you for it. She knows that you're blessing her with your hard work, with your, you know. And I tell you, a lot of times I'll come home, and my wife will be, if I'm real, you know, sh- I'll come in and take a shower, and then she'll come in, and she'll come in, and sometimes she'll jump in the shower with me, help me get cleaned up, and then you know make a little bed on the couch where I can lay down and watch TV or take a nap when I've been tired all day. Sometimes when I'm real sore and I need to soak in some hot water, she'll run the bath water, and just she does little things like, and it feels good. It's great. I appreciate it. And it's a blessing. But I don't expect her to do that every night. But I do appreciate it. And she don't do it because that's her duty. She does it because she loves me. And sometimes, a lot of times, I'll lay down on the couch. We got a sectional. I bought a big sectional in our living room, and she'll make a little bed there. I'll watch TV, and sometimes I'll be laying down in her lap and fall asleep, and she'll hug me while I'm sleeping, and just little something we do. I mean, and I appreciate that. You know, and she will cook dinner for me, but sometimes, you know what? I come home, and I'll cook in the backyard. Sometimes I'll barbecue, and she can take a break and relax. Sometimes I'll bring food home. It's a good give and take. Oh, hey, Bastonian. How's it going? Jesus has a tattoo on his. Oh, really? King of King, Lord of Lords. Yeah. All right. Yeah, let me look up that verse too. I might just snapshot it real quick because I want to look that up. Revelations 19:16. Um, yeah. Do some Bible reading after this tonight. I'm off tomorrow, um so I get to sleep in. So all right, I got it. You don't mind me taking a snapshot, do you, Bastonian? Because I want to look up that verse. But yeah, that's interesting. Um, but tonight I wanted to talk about traditional interracial marriages. And that's, me and my wife are traditional people. Now, are we like the traditional people in the 1800s? No. Um, but when it comes to marriage, love and marriage, we're traditional. Now, I mean, some people say, that my wife's not because she gets her nails done or something crazy, or because of the hair and makeup thing. And I don't care about that. I'm just traditional sense of marriage, and living for God. Um, are you taking calls? Yeah, come on up. Hey, let me put the link. Yeah, if you guys want to come up, I'll put it up here. Um, and I think I've talked enough. I'll talk all night. But yeah, if you guys want to come up, the link's right there. Just hit the link, and and you don't even have to talk about our topic. If you just want to say a prayer, if you want to just say, hey, um, this is your time. Um, but we got to understand traditional. We want traditional. We got to be traditional. Okay. And women are not our indentured servants. They're our wives. Okay. And yeah, they should do things for us, but we should do things for them too. It goes both ways. That's my whole point. A traditional man works hard for his wife. Okay. Because his wife and children, live off the fruits of his labor. The reason I could take care of my wife and children is because of I worked. I earned money so I could pay for our house, to pay for the food, and so I can have money for us to do stuff too and have fun. And you know that takes hard work, but it's worth it. My kids' education. Oh gosh, I spent all kinds of money on that. I think the education system is a rip off, but you know, if it's going to get my kids ahead in life and give them the tools they need to be successful, I'll pay for it. And I have. You know, it's a sacrifice, but their future is important to me, you know? It is. Yeah. So just hit the link um if you want to come up. If not, is that what you're asking about taking calls? I don't have a phone line coming in. The only thing I'm doing is if you hit the link, you could come up. Uh but if anybody wants to come up, come on up. If not, I'll close this out. Um but I think you know what? The most traditional women I found is black women. And I'm being honest. And I think a lot of these guys, don't realize that what they're looking for is right there in the neighborhood. What they're looking for is right here. It just when you're not a traditional man, you don't see the traditional woman. Just saying. A lot of black women want to be married, want to be a good wife and, to her husband. But a lot of these guys don't want that. They don't even want to get married. They want to, I guess, date forever. But then all of a sudden, a passport and a overseas plane ride fixes everything. I don't know how that works, but okay. All right. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for being part of this prayer meeting. I know it was a little quick, um, but I got some things I want to do with my wife tomorrow, so I made it tonight. And I'm sorry it was late, but my thing is they don't like the package and form that black women come in. Well, that's their loss. I mean, I look at this passport. Ooh, guys, I look at this passport thing, and it seems like a lot of these channels are just bashing black women and making it like they got to go overseas to find the good woman when black women are the best option. And I don't know, it just seems like it blows my mind. But anyway, let me go ahead and end this, guys. Thank you so much. um I appreciate you guys coming up on this prayer meeting, and I'll have another one. I'll plan it for Tuesday. I might adjust like I did this week. I don't know, but most likely we'll do it Tuesday. I try to leave Wednesday and Sunday alone with prayer meeting because of church. Uh, my church has service on Sunday and Wednesday. Wednesday, I don't hardly make it because of work. I just can't. But Sundays, I'll go in the morning. Sometimes every once in a blue moon, I'll go on Wednesday if I'm off. But usually I'm working. But I try to leave it alone, even if it's later at night, because people come home from church, they're tired. And, so I try to do it on Tuesday. I think Tuesday's a good day. Monday's not bad. Maybe it's a little too late tonight, but but we got it in. And I thank you guys for coming here. You guys are a blessing. And look, you want to find traditional people, go to traditional places. Church is the biggest place to find traditional people. Okay. People that follow the Bible and strive to do it God's way, get married, have children, be faithful and loyal to each other. That's traditional right there. Not having sexual relations till you're married, that's traditional. I'd rather have a wife that waited and did it traditional than worry about if she's got nails or eyelashes on. I mean, to me, that's just silly. I we look at tradition and we just add stuff. You know, no fake nails, no eyelashes, no weave, no. But yet these men are going around messing around. But okay, the weave is, I guess, more of a problem than a man fixing himself. I don't know. Yeah, the reason I say that is I hear people complaining about that stuff. Heck, I love black women. I don't care if they got a weave or braided hair, a wig. Look, black women are beautiful, and if they feel beautiful with that stuff, let them have it. I'm just saying, and I don't see what the big deal is. When women get a weave, it looks nice. The only problem I have with that is it grows out so fast with my wife. Braids last longer. That's the only thing. Um, but anyway, I don't want to talk about hair, but I just thought I would. But anyway, thank you guys for coming in. Let me go ahead and dismiss this in a prayer. And hope you guys enjoy your week. Um, I will be back Saturday. Um, but there's something I'm going to be working on. And yeah, but you guys will see. It's I'm going to be working on this Saturday if I get some time because I want to put some videos in with the live and I want to do uh eventually I want to do different locations and splice it into a live show. You know what I mean? Where I'll go live, but you'll have a video feeds within. So to be like I'm live in different places, but it's actually pre-recorded, but it'll be in a live show. And I'll be here bringing people up. It won't be a pre-recorded live, but there'll be some videos spliced in. And I got a editing program that's awesome for that allows me to do that neat stuff. Um, but there's a show I want to talk about, and I want to talk about different swirler groups. And a lot of them aren't going to like me. They don't. The swirling community, that's what we're in. Okay. There are people that swirl. Um, the passport bros are swirlers. They're with non-black women. The SYSBM, they're swirlers. Now that's kind of a weird group I found out about. It just seems like they're just totally leaving black women and going to just non-black women. It's weird. It's weird to me because I mean I look through things through a lens, and the amazing thing black women do, but they want to leave black women. That just seems like the biggest asset in the black community, in my humble opinion. I'm just saying. I just think black women are amazing. But anyway, let me go ahead and pray, and then we'll be dismissed. If you would bow your heads and pray with me. Lord, thank you for this prayer meeting. Thank you for everybody that came up here today, Lord. And I pray that everybody got something out of this, Lord. And I pray you'd help me to get my message across better, help me speak more clearly, Lord. Um, you know where my heart is, Lord. And I just want people to know that there are traditional women in America, and there's traditional men too, Lord. And I pray you give us the strength in our country as men to improve ourselves, to do better, to be held accountable. Not be held accountable just to put us in pain, but to make us better men. I know, Lord, we got to go through the pain, and I know we don't like it, but we need it. And I pray that you put us through that to where we can be stronger men, to where we can appreciate the women that are in our life, Lord, and that we can make them our wives and love them, protect them, and be true traditional men that give everything to the women we love, Lord. Where we could protect and provide for them, make them feel beautiful and loved and happy. Lord, I pray you give us the strength to do this. Us as men, Lord, our country's in need of good men, Lord. Lord, we have failed you, and I pray that you give us the strength and courage to go back to the basics and be real men, be traditional men, loving men, strong men, men with compassion and love, and put our wives and children first, Lord. Please bring us back to that, Lord, and bring our nation back to marriage, having the traditional family, Lord, a man, a woman, and children, Lord. And I pray you help us with that, whether our nations with the same races or different racial groups, Lord. And I thank you for the relationships with black women and white men being successful, Lord. And I pray you keep strengthening us that we can be an example, how you want us to love each other and come together with, in your name, Jesus, that we can become part of your family, Lord, and we can create our own families on this earth while we're still here and have a blessing through our family, through our generations, Lord. Help us pass on a blessing and stop passing on curses that our children and grandchildren will have to pay for, Lord. Please make us better people, Lord. Make us better men. Make us a better nation, Lord. I love my nation. I love my country, and I thank you for it, Lord. Help me and other men to make it better, Lord. I pray. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Okay. I hope you have a good night. And look, and I'm speaking to the men. You want traditional women, you want good women that are submissive, loving. We need to fix ourselves first. We cannot expect to have a traditional woman when we're not a traditional man. And none of us are perfect, but we need to change ourselves if we want that traditional woman. Okay? We got to be that traditional man. It don't work. We can't just we don't just deserve a traditional woman because we're a man. No. That's a blessing that we got to earn. That's a blessing. We got to fix ourselves before we can have that blessing. Okay? And running to another country is not the answer, guys. Listen to me, man. It's not. I know we get hurt. I know sometimes we get with the wrong women. And a lot of times it's because we're the wrong men. A lot of times we bring this on ourselves. A lot of times we don't have good relationships and we say, well, she's not a good woman, but we're not a good man. So a lot of this can be fixed by looking in the mirror and improving ourselves. I'm serious. We have beautiful, amazing women in America. We do. We have the most beautiful, loving women in the world here in America. We have traditional women that are beautiful and amazing. Let's embrace what we got here at home, okay? And let's stop looking elsewhere. Let's fix our own problems. Let's embrace the women in our country. And whatever your preference is, black, white, Asian, whatever, be with your preference, but love that woman you're with. Treat her with love and respect. Treat her as the treasure she is. I'm telling you, do that, God will bless you, and you will be much more happier and healthier. And remember, we have not because we ask not. We don't have a traditional wife because we're not a traditional man. Goes both ways. The best way to fix a problem is fix it within. Hold yourself accountable, fix yourself, and then you can move forward. But anyway, guys, have a good night. God bless. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night. Mm. All right. God bless. I'll see you guys Saturday. Have a good night.